We will now call the March 17th, 2022 West County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Tori Tellez, Assistant County Manager, will lead the board in Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We ask that in all attendance, please set your cell phones to silent or vibrate mode. The board offers the public one opportunity to speak during the meeting. In accordance with the board's adopted rules of procedure, commissioners shall receive responses, if any, for the commissioner comment period on the agenda. At this time, I will ask the county manager to present the item on today's agenda.
Good morning, Chairman Collins and commissioners. After the recent budget workshop for the fiscal year 2022 to 2023, there was a discussion on allocating $6.5 million of capital funds for the addition of an indoor recreation center or a youth crisis center. Public school recreation facilities are made available by the community. However, access to the county has limited space for gym recreation during school hours and home space for team athletics to practice or host sporting events. Hearing from citizens and students at our last commissioner workshop, as well as discussions with county school staff, there's an apparent need and desire for new indoor recreation center to host tournaments and meet the community's needs. Additionally, within the past few months, our county and state have seen a drastic rise in teen-related suicides, increased opioid use among youth under 17, and an overload of cases pending in juvenile court. After the opening of the Adult Crisis Intervention Center, community input has increased, noting the lack of support for our youth. While the current crisis center provides resources and assistance for those struggling with mental health, suicidal behaviors, and substance abuse, patients must be involuntarily admitted and at or over 18. There have been several requests from the community to provide a safe space for youth to receive access to mental health services that are affordable and designated for those not considered legal adults. Staff requests that the Board of Commissioners consider approving one of the proposed capital fund projects for $6.5 million, a youth crisis center or an indoor recreation center. Commissioners, I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Thank you, County Manager. Before commissioner discussion, I will open the floor for citizen comments.
Hello, how are y'all doing today? All right, good to hear. I am not a happy mama, all right? Commissioners, I live in a home directly across from West East High School, and I can tell you there is more trouble with teens running around the school after hours since the gym's been closed. Those children have no outlet without the gymnasium, and it's about time they get it fixed. With no outlet, they're turning to drugs and those electronic device pens in the parking lots. I see it with my own eyes. That is a terrible example for my perfect son, Cletus. Build an indoor recreation center for our children, and I bet your bottom dollar you will not see no more gosh dang drugs in our parking lots. God bless. Thank you.
I don't know why this is even a discussion. My boy has been playing sports for 10 years. 10 years. And you better believe he's playing in a new gym by his senior year. I feel that youth sports around here are more important than a kid who cries too much. We had to travel out of town every weekend for tournaments, and it's about time the county chipped in to help build a new gym. Remember, we can always vote you out of office.
Good morning, Commissioners. As a mother whose child comes home crying every night from bullies at school, I can tell you that mental health is critical. The counselors at school don't help. The principal says kids will be kids. I can't afford a private counselor on a single-parent income. The county needs to recognize that there is a need for resources found at a crisis center. Young children are just as important as adults who deal with these issues.
I've been volunteering as a coach for a county travel basketball team, and it's been too long for them without a decent place to practice and host tournaments. Camaraderie, friendship, and let alone the community. Sports build lifelong commitment and values in these kids. The longer they go without a proper gymnasium, the longer they will suffer. Our boys are in line to win the next title championship, and they can't do it without a decent place to practice.
Commissioners, as a recent graduate of West East High School, I understand the importance of rebuilding the gym, but the crisis center is more important in life or death. I lost my best friend first year, and I only hope that others will have resources they need in the future. Having a crisis center for our youth is essential, especially with stress of today's world. I hope you consider approving the founding of Youth Crisis Center.
These are both significant issues. Maybe this is something the commissioners can discuss as a 2 to 3 year plan, starting with one project and finishing with another. I don't see why we can't have both. As head coach of the soccer team, I know the impact the kids have taken without enough outdoor and indoor space to practice. Grades are slipping, distractions are happening in classrooms, and the lack of structure and sense of normalcy is taking a toll. I hope there can be some compromise here because the children are losing.
Commissioners, here we go again with you raising our taxes to accommodate for few people who don't even pay taxes. You need to remember this is an election year, and spending our hard-earned money on your frivolous things won't get you re-voted. Why don't you give us a break on taxes if you have so much money to spend? I think our community could benefit, but I don't think it should be taken from our hard-earned money while you just sit here.
Morning, Commissioners, Chairman. Commissioners, I attend to you today as I come from West East High School, and our school has been affected with 5 teen suicides in the past year. My best friend committed suicide during Christmas break, and I want to read you a letter that she has written the 2 days before she has taken her life, if you do not mind. You are my deepest fears and insecurities. You are my best friend. Even though you have been there with me for the last 3 years and a half, it feels like a lifetime. To the point where I do not remember what it was like when you weren't a part of my life. You have slowly chipped away at the person I used to be, leaving me unrecognizable to my family and friends. You make everything complicated as much that it's hard just to live. Some days I'm at school and you make it hard to breathe and no one notices. Although I learned to deal with you, to live with you doesn't mean I am free with you. But I will keep fighting you as long as I can. I will not listen to you, and I will not let you dictate my every decision. And I will not let you affect my life anymore. I'm just tired. Commissioners, I bet if you reached out to any other family that is dealing with the same crisis as I am, I can promise you that they will be on my side just as much as I am.
Are there any other citizens who would like to speak to this matter? If not, I will close the public comment period and bring this matter back to the board for discussion and a decision. Commissioners, I would like to hear from each of you regarding this important agenda item.
Hello, my name is Carlos Edwards, and I feel while a crisis center could be useful to the youth in our community, rec center, a rec center could also be equally of value because while a crisis center is going to be more dedicated towards their brains and all this, if I'm not wrong, I heard someone say that they must be involuntarily committed, and while they know we're trying to help them, not everybody's going to recognize that at first glance, and so they may be seeing that as you're saying something's wrong with them. A rec center provides them a place where they can be with like-minded individuals and people of their own age and provide a sense of unity and just, honestly, companionship. which is something I feel is more needed in today's society with all the technology that's just building up walls and the bullying that's going on online. Face-to-face communication is key, and so I feel we should go for the recreational center.
I'm Commissioner Grant Neal. I feel children are our #1 priority as they're there to build a future for everybody. I mean, without them, you have nothing. So to approve a future project that melds both, I feel everyone would win. And we should await for additional input from our citizens and table until the next budget year. I understand the need for both projects, and we can accommodate and possibly do them both in the future.
I'm Commissioner Lillian Glagola. I appreciate the comments that our citizens have offered here this evening. However, I know I cannot speak for the entire Board of Commissioners, but this should not even be a choice. Our Youth Crisis Center is important, and it is important to our youth. Without our youth, we will not have a future. It is our job to take care of our future and take care of our youth with our Youth Crisis Center.
My name is Aiden Finnerty. The pain and suffering that our youth goes through every day must be addressed. And I don't think that's a question that needs to be answered by the other commissioners. The fact that it brings our youth to the point of suicide, it must be addressed. The pain and suffering that the friends and family go through must be addressed. The parents robbed of their children must be addressed. Yes, there's a great stigma behind depression, suicide, and crisis centers, but we can end the stigma by praising these crisis centers, by addressing the positive outcome. Our youth is our future, and we must protect it.
I'm Commissioner Eliana Hain. The process of building is long and tedious. These citizens need to realize that it would take at least 2 years to complete these type of projects. Maybe the school system can look into having a broader communication with their students to alleviate some of these mental challenges they're going through. Or perhaps some of the parents and law enforcement that are so concerned about it can get a mental health committee to gather what the stem of the issue is for these suicides that are occurring. Laying the blame on the local government or any organization, for that matter, is not an example or answer. Our sole responsibility as adults is engaging with our children and youth.
I'm Commissioner Derek Patrick, and I think we should wait before approving any of these projects. I say this because we've only got input from 8 of our citizens when there's a whole population out there. If we go based on only 8 people, we may end up upsetting the general majority because we can't tell what most people want from 8 people. While most people are saying build a sports center, I say we should wait to approve what we need when we get more people to give their input on this suggestion.
We want the mental health institution. I agree. Yes.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and speaking today. After listening to all the citizens' concerns and reviewing the funding available, I am ready to move forward. One of the commissioners will need to make a motion to adopt the capital project for the Indoor Recreation Center or the capital project for the Youth Crisis Center.
I would like to motion for the Youth Crisis Center.
Second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
I oppose.
I oppose.
The motion carries. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second that.
All right, I have a motion and I have a second. This meeting is now adjourned.